what's up? There he is.
Oh, what's up, buddy?
Hey.
How are you?
Hey, how's it going? We're good. How you doing?
Good. Very good.
You can hear me loud and clear?
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Don't mind the big man in the back.
Mm-hmm.
The Hulk. He's my man right there. Just joking.
That's awesome.
Hey, Rick, thanks for taking time on your day for us and my network today.
Sure.
There's a couple, most people know you, and, we've talked a little bit about your story. They can go back and definitely check in on that. One of your videos, it was one of it was our group video with our team, and you talked about because people still, like, I'm still getting this stuff about, but you're still selling a product, but how do you move a product? And you talked about letting financial education being the mentor. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about why financial education is the mentor and how is it in the network marketing space, especially with Overcome Nation.
Well, the one thing that 98% of the people in the network marketing industry don't really want to admit is that they're not completely sold on network marketing, right? And they tend to drink the Kool-Aid, so they don't really know how to communicate the industry or the brand in the way it deserves, right? And so let's just start out by saying the network marketing industry is not socially acceptable, right? And the 98% that are out there sharing it, they've been told just to share the products and let action, be their coach and use rah and hype and manipulation and all of that. And they don't really know how to communicate, the framework of this industry. I mean,
Yeah.
You have a framework of mentorship. You have a framework of being system driven. You have a framework of cash flow and creating cash flowing assets throughout your downline. You have passive income that is taxed at the lowest percentage and the most valuable type of income in the world amongst the rich, right? So you have exponential growth that goes beyond the borders and throughout the world if your company is in it. And if you can't communicate that from a business perspective, then it slows you down in being able to get the big earner out there. And what I mean by the big earner is not the networker, the person that is a business owner that has lots of influence and understands the dynamics of business, and you're able to expose a pain point in a self-employed person's life, which is money and no time. So if you can't communicate it from that framework, then it's really difficult for you to get the right type of people in your business. You'll just get people that, will come along and drink the Kool-Aid, so to speak, and they're so afraid that somebody's going to call it a pyramid and all that other stuff that they're hiding, right? They almost apologize, or they make their friends, feel hunted in a way that's cheesy because they're out. They don't know how to communicate the credibility of the industry. And so because of that, it sounds like in their messaging that they have to sell retail products out of their garage, right? And we all agree that is hokey, and that's not what we do. If I would never get involved in this business if that was the case, right? So when there's a lack of ability to communicate the industry and the brand, then you receive a whole lot of no's, right? And when you can communicate the framework to the language of business, you get a whole lot of yeses, and you get the right types of people.
So that's beautiful. So can we do this? I made this up. This is hilarious. You're gonna love this. It's gonna challenge you. So because I like to speak to a lot of business owners, small business owners. I have a lot of small business owners on my network, and I also have other network marketers that I'm close with, that friends with, that are I know deep down they're stuck inside. They have that emotional attachment to their business. But they know there's something better, but there's that piece that's holding them on. You talked about that, and Robert Kiyosaki talks about having an emotional attachment with your business, and that's very bad. Even my father, my father and my mother own that their brick and mortar down the highway. And again speaking, my father doesn't have an emotional attachment with his business, but my mother does. That's crippling, right? That's crippling when you have an emotional attachment with your business,
Only if it's not cash flowing, and all the
right?
signs that are there are telling you that you should probably go in another direction. Um, and you're ignoring it, right? The one thing about numbers is they don't lie. If you've done everything you can do from quarter to quarter to turn your business around and nothing changes, then it becomes very predictable that the cash flow is leaving your business. And if you continue to let that happen because of an emotional attachment, then you won't be in business too long, and it becomes very dangerous. You have to be able to evolve. You have to be able to get up and go, okay, this isn't working. I've done everything I possibly can. It's time to reinvent myself, right? Or go somewhere else, right? And if it comes to, uh, no longer being relevant in a company, and this goes for traditional business too, no longer being
Yeah,
relevant,
yeah,
or um, uh, the different dynamics that would keep you from growing your business, or things that are out of your control,
yeah.
especially in network marketing. If a company is making decisions for you that you have no control over, and you're trying everything you can to build a business and keep it all together, and it just keeps deteriorating from the inside, from the bottom up, and you feel like you're shuffling chairs on the Titanic, right? Because you keep building the same business over and over and over again, then that gets tiresome, and that's where networkers get very burned out, because they feel like, it's not sustainable, right? So unless you have a real system within a system within a system, then you're not going to be able to keep high retention in your team.
So going back to small business owner and even like the employees, like let's talk about this, the employee mindset of having that security, the 25 years. I love, because we're getting deeper into the education. I'm learning a lot with like long term now. Like before, I had the mindset of short term, because the 95%, they do the rah emotionalism, and they say it's get rich quick, all that sort of stuff. But comparing network marketing, like comparing like a pension to network marketing. Why is it smart for someone that is shooting for a pension, but also to do this as a supplemental income, for, because I don't know, I think 25 years and getting a pay cut, like I call it a pay, like Robert Kiyosaki says, 25 years for a pay cut, like that's not smart. You're going backwards in life. So I'm comparing someone's pension with network marketing. Why is it a smart choice, a wise choice to go down that route, even if they want to build it that slow?
Well, two things. One is, it's not the income that you're generating, it's the type of income that you're generating that makes a difference. Okay.
Amen.
So, cash flowing assets bring passive income, and passive income is the highest quality of income in the world. So, that's what everybody should strive to have, but they don't teach it in schools. They don't even teach it in college, right? So you have to learn that in business, or pay a great deal of money in mentorship for people to teach you that, right? It cost me a $500,000 with Sharon Lechter and Robert Kiyosaki and other mentors to learn financial education. And the key word in financial education is cash flow through a system of business, right? Or a system driven business, or real estate, or commodities, or stocks, bonds, and mutual funds, right? So cash flow, passive income is king, it's the highest quality. So having said that, network marketing, your business, your income grows exponentially. So
Yeah.
maybe you're waiting, you're collecting your pension, and that pension is not giving you enough. I mean, unless you have about 8 million in the bank, you're not going to live as comfortably as you want, in my
Yeah.
opinion, right? So let me just take you down this road first. For retirement, in order to live on a fixed income of $2,500 a month, and you retire at 67 and you die at 90, then you would have to have 2.2 million in the bank in order to live off 2,500 a month. If you want to double that, you can just do the math, right? If I want to live on 5,000 a month, then I got to have over about 4.5 million in the bank.
Hmm.
So if it's $10,000 a month, then I got to have about 8 to 9 million in the bank in order to live off of a fixed income of $10,000 a month, right? So that's difficult for people to live off. That's why you
Yeah.
see that a person has a certain amount of earning power while they're working, but then when they go into retirement, their earnings drop to about $38,000 a year. I mean, I don't know how anyone could live on that, right? So so when you build a network marketing business and it's growing exponentially, that is something that begins to grow on its own, right, over time because of a system of duplication. So, in other words,
Right.
if I'm making $200 my first month, and in the second month I make $400 a month, in the third I go 800, right? By the time I get to the fourth and fifth month, I'm at $1,600, $3,200 a month passive income, even if it's slower than that, but it's growing exponentially. Because if you teach me to go get two people in the business and one other person to go get two people in the business, you now have six cash flowing